I'm doing this interview right here, so I gotta. Okay. My folks who live in Tennessee, right outside of Nashville, were moving, and my dad gave me one of his old cameras. And seeing that camera sort of lighted a spark again for me, and sort of directed me into a passion that I didn't really know existed. And then I just kept working with it, and it just kept building and kept accumulating, and it just started off just as a simple hobby, and then just started to roll and build and turn into something else.
Do you start off shooting in black and white?
But I always liked black and white photography. The photos I saw, the ones that captivated me, were in black and white. And so I think, at least subconsciously, I was just trying to emulate that. I think I was sort of absorbing all these things that I saw in the past that inspired me, and was trying to project it into my own work. And later I started purposely using black and white because a lot of people just started commenting on it. Wow, your photos in black and white are really extraordinary, or you should pursue this.
What made you pick the camera up and capture this little moment?
It was in Greenwich Village, which is one of my favorite neighborhoods in New York. I was in this cafe and I love going there. They have really good cappuccinos there. I go in there and with my moleskin and write ideas down, do some reading. I just saw this elderly lady who just looked so elegant to me, just sitting down to have a cup of tea. Lo and behold, on the outside, there was this girl that emerged, just sort of peering in. And I took several of these within a span of about 10 seconds. Street photographers do this. You just go around and it's a numbers game. You go around and you take a lot of photographs, and you don't necessarily know what you're going for or what you're going to get. Using the law of averages, if you keep taking a lot of photographs and putting yourself in an interesting situation, chances are you're going to come out with something. And that was one of these moments where just all the stars were aligned, everything worked perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not that familiar with when people drop names of classic photographers. Some of them I haven't even heard of. It's usually musicians. It's usually art. When I say art, I mean painters, Red Brooms. And he was an artist that used all sorts of medium. Basquiat from the 1980s, David Bowie, somebody who works in just a lot of different mediums. And I spend countless hours researching, listening to music. And if I'm listening to a great album like Kind of Blue, and it gets me in a certain mood, I'm like trying to emulate the sound that I hear, that feeling, into my photograph.
Is the Parisi Bakery. This is quite fantastically beautiful.
I was listening to jazz. I want to say Thelonious Monk, and I was just trying to channel that sound and that feeling of the 40s, of the late 40s, early 50s. And I think in a way I was able to capture it in this photo. Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless, and Francois Truffaut too. Those two filmmakers really inspired me. And I think for a while there I was really just trying to channel that and try to bring that feeling into a still image.
Although you've talked about feeling sort of insecure, you've talked about hiding behind the camera, we've talked about hiding behind the music and being introverted, the picture that you chose to shoot of lots of ladies' bras kind of removes all of that. It almost says, hey, I'm over that now.
I don't know if this is true for other creative people, but if you're really shy, if you can use, as I say, art or something else, you can sort of break through that barrier, sort of penetrate through that fourth wall and come out on the other side and sort of overcome any fear, anxiety, or apprehension you may have.